It's Ask Floyd, and I want to welcome, I appreciate you for visiting my YouTube channel for Ask Floyd. Now, what I need you to do this favor for me, because I need those notifications to go out anytime I drop a new video. Click the subscribe button right now, smash it. Don't waste time, smash it now, so you can get all this great content. If you have a question, you just might make it on Ask Floyd, make sure you subscribe today. First question comes from Mr. Ali P on Instagram. I have a great idea for a business, but I don't have the money to get started. What should I do? Now, that's a really good question. I think everybody kind of goes through this when they get started with their business. It's, well, I have this great idea, I don't know what to do. And let me give you some tips on how to get started. Number one, if you don't have any money, it's okay. Where you start at is Google. Research, research, research is what I tell everybody. You want to know where you're going before you actually start to make moves and spend money to go there. So first step is do some research on Google and make a plan. Now, you don't have to quit your job overnight. What you want to do is take it one step at a time, save up your money, put a little bit of money aside, work, put a little bit of money aside until you have what you need to get started. You do not need a lot of money, by the way. A lot of things can get started very inexpensively. I started things with less than $100 and have been able to build them up. So you want to start by doing the research and then putting a little bit of money aside and find ways to cut corners to get things done and get started. That's a really good question, Mr. Ali P on Instagram. If you have any questions or need any more updates, send me an email. All right, the next question is from Shar Actor on Instagram. She said, I have a small marketing and public relations firm. Business is slowly growing. When should I look to hire help? That's a really good question, because you need help to grow. You can't do everything alone. So here's one key indicating factor to let you know when it's time to hire. When you have too much business that you can't handle. I mean, it's really simple. You want to take it as far as you can go on your own, but when that day comes where you're just overwhelmed, you have too many clients, you can't return enough phone calls, you might want to bring in an intern, someone that can work for low cost, or if you can't afford it, then make the investment. Figure out what you can afford to pay on a weekly, monthly basis, and try to find someone that's talented that can there was a fly on the screen, that's crazy. So find somebody that can work within your budget and help you to reach your goals. You got to make sure that this person is on the same page as you, though. It's really important, because when they're working possibly for less or for what you can afford, you have to make sure that your goals and your plans are aligned with each other, and they can really do some good. But until then, you got to do it on your own, solo dolo. If you got any more questions, Shar, I want to hear about your situation a little bit more. So hit me up at floydphillipsco@gmail.com and give me an update, and maybe I can offer you a little bit more advice. All right, next question. Hashtag Ask Floyd is Lovely Beauty. She says, I work for an online college. My boss, the owner, has accrued a ton of debt to keep the business afloat. There have been payrolls we couldn't make because of lack of funds. Woo. What can I do to help? It's gonna be tough. Here's where to start. Obviously, you're not the owner, so you can't make the final call on any decision. But if you want to do this, what I would suggest is offer some suggestions to the owner. Sit her down, say, hey, look, here's what's been going on. The payroll hasn't been met. Some of our expenses are coming in. We're not able to pay our bills. We got some decisions to make. And that decision has to be, we have to figure out where there's a disconnect. Is it overstaffing? Is it our expenses are too high? We don't have enough income? Are we not pricing our products or our classes right? Those are really key components that you have to look at when you're trying to balance your budget to make sure that you can keep the business afloat. Because if you don't make enough money, you can't pay your staff. You can't pay your staff, you are out of business. And it looks like you might be out of business really soon if you don't make a change and do something really quick. So what I would suggest is sit down with the owner, go over the books, know the numbers, and then make a decision from there. Otherwise, you know, you'll be looking for a new job really soon, and that's really unfortunate. Now, if you have any other questions, After you go over with your owner, you need some suggestions, some advice, feel free to send me an email at floydphillipsco.com, at gmail.com rather, and I'll be more than happy to help. But I think this is something that is recoverable, but you got to get on top of it right now. All right, good luck. Next question is from Kai Simone on Instagram. It says, I have been considering becoming a professional photographer, but I don't have any support from family or friends. Starting out alone is difficult. What should I do? Honestly, we all start alone. You can't expect to have any support financially or physically, any help from family or friends. You can't go into your business, your baby, expecting support from family. If they do come, then that's a bonus. I remember starting my companies, my father, moral support was there, but honestly, he wasn't there to help put any money in or offer to do any promotions or create any websites or business cards, anything like that. So you really want to focus on understanding that your help is going to start with you, whether it's putting up and saving money, getting your equipment, going out and doing marketing. You don't need support. You don't need support. This is your baby. You got to support yourself. So what I would suggest is get out on social media, create an online flyer, pass it to some people, get a gig or two, then ask for referrals. It's a really simple way to build your business, and trust me, when the money starts flowing, you'll have all the support you need from your family and friends. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So if you have any other questions or just give me an update, hit me up in maybe about 30 days, and if you need some help, I'll be happy to offer you a little bit more assistance. Hit me at floydphillipsco@gmail.com with an update. All right, Kai, thanks.
So what tools do you use to manage and organize your time properly?
That's a very good question. Max, that's a toughie, because I am one of the worst people at managing and organizing my time. Now, what I have done to kind of fix that problem is working with Google. They have some really easy, my Google Calendar helps with planning events, meetings, keeping me on schedule, and then I also have an assistant as well that does that, because man, I will be late. I will it's been tough. I will say that. I have this thing where one thing comes and then I'm over here and then it moves over there. But what I would say is I use Google. Honestly, it's a free product that, along with my Gmail and my Google Drive. But my time is very valuable, so I have hired an assistant, as well as we keep those alerts coming to the phone constantly. If I have a meeting that I have to go to, I'll get an alert, and it keeps me focused. And to me, like, it's really important in business that you have to find ways to organize your time, because you don't have that much time, but you can maximize on it by keeping a good schedule and staying focused on that schedule and not allowing the outside noise to get you to, lose your focus and move on to other things that probably aren't as beneficial to your day. That's a good question, Max. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, now this next question comes from at Kenny Nonstop 216 on Instagram. He says, I'm a local DJ in Cleveland. Shout out to Cleveland. And I get a few gigs here and there. How do I get my name out and get more gigs? This question really hits home for me, because this is how I really got started, was DJing. Parties, mixtapes, all of the above. And really, the DJ business is not like any other business. Really, what you want to focus on is getting more social. Go out to the clubs, go out to parties, and network with other DJs, network with promoters, build relationships online socially with them as well. You got to make sure you're good. So when you do go out and you have a gig, you make sure you promote nonstop. Talk over all the music. That's what I used to do on mixtapes and at parties, and make sure that people know who you are, what your social media is, and make sure that you stay in contact with them and interact, so that when something does come up, a new opportunity, whether it's a party, a club, or whatever, you want to make sure that your name is the first one. So focus. Number one, social media. Number two, network. And number 3, make sure you don't suck. And I'm sure you don't, because you wouldn't be, you wouldn't be sending me a message. So we gonna take it for granted that you're really good, and that you just need to get your name out. So just stay busy, stay active, stay networking, and have fun, man. Have fun. If you got any other questions, Floyd, hit me at email me, floydphillipsco@gmail.com. And if you need some more tips, because I love DJing. I did it for quite a bit of time, almost 10 years I was in the grind. So I know all about what you're talking about right now. So hit me up, I'll be more than happy to help. All right, non-stop. All right, the next question comes from Barry Curly, okay, on Instagram. It's actually pretty long. Hey everybody, if you could minimize and keep your questions to about 140 characters, that would be nice. I would certainly appreciate it. All right, so it says, my fiance wants to have a wedding and I don't. I want a small ceremony. She wants to use the $16,000 that I have saved up for a home and for emergency funds. I already spent $3,000 on a ring she wanted, and that was from my savings. We can't seem to come to a compromise. I'm willing to spend $5,000 on the wedding, and she says that's not enough. What can I do? Well, Barry Curly, you're in a very difficult situation. Anyway, it's pretty tough now because you want to make sure that your fiance is happy. And that's one thing I believe in, is happy wife, happy life. So I would communicate. I call this the 3 C's. It's communicate, compromise, to create a cohesive environment. So if you follow the 3 C's in every situation that comes up in a relationship, I think you'll find your way to progress and you'll keep the home happy. Now with this, you want to spend $5,000, she wants to spend $16,000. My thing would be, hey, let's just try to meet in the middle, because you know how women can be. They've probably been dreaming about this day for their whole life. So the last thing you want to do is disappoint her with what she might feel is a cheap or a discount wedding. So you want to meet in the middle, and then you can find ways to get things done in a certain budget, so that you can use the funds that you need for the future. Now, it's going to be tight to make this happen, but I believe in you. I think you can do it. To just compromise, communicate, to create a cohesive relationship. If you need any more advice from me, send me an email at floydphillipsco@gmail.com, and I'll help you. It's a sticky situation, but I believe in you. I think you can do it. I love to hear about you and your business, so if you have any questions, hit me up, floydphillipsco@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you.